So you were talking about the ethics of Evan using the information he was presented with, like all of the insider information from the lawyers and the cops, and how he managed to get things leveraged. And I think that for the most part, it was ethical to use it because it was information about how to make the system that is supposed to help and protect and serve the public actually do their jobs. And I mean, NYPD resources are stretched thin enough that this was a trivial case, but theoretically this is still within their purview. What I think was wrong, though, was he doxed her. An affluent adult physically endangered a minor by posting her information online where he knew millions of people would see it. And I think that's a problem, and that's unethical behavior, and that's never something that's appropriate. We have a code of behavior about that, and for the most part, it's actually, no, it's always wrong. We can't pick and choose who these rules should apply to. We can't post people's information online when it's going to endanger them. And I don't think that changes because she stole a phone. As for the wallet, I would probably keep the cash. I mean, depending on how broke I was feeling at the time, I would. And actually, Tracy brought up the what you would do if you found the phone. I would hand it to the driver. Because businesses have lost and found, and that's generally where someone will check in if they realize where they lost something. When I worked at a bike store in Madison, we had people forget their phones like reasonably frequently, and they would get stashed under the register. If someone called, we'd pick up and say where it was. We didn't do anything active because we had other stuff to do, but if people were looking for it, we helped them. And that's something businesses are better set up to do. As an individual, I don't want to, meet some random stranger to hand them their phone. They might be, a creeper, and I don't need to deal with that. And I mean, I would treat a wallet essentially the same, except for, the whole cash thing, which is not particularly pro-social behavior on my part, but I don't actually care that much about it. And part of that, it actually ties into the other question you had about, at a party. If one of my friends was drunk and considering driving, I would stop them. They are one of my people. I care significantly about what happens to the people I know and the people I care about than to people at large. And so I will try and look after them. And so if it was one of my friends who had dropped the wallet as well, I would make sure it got back to them, but I don't really care about a random stranger. But I think that part of that is how much effort I'm willing to put into in terms of, how I treat them. And so, how much active behavior I'm willing to do. But doxing, I think, should be a universal rule because it's not requiring more effort, it's just not doing a thing. Whether or not you would help a lost child find their parent is kind of a, you do you thing. Generally, it's encouraged that you would help them, but not getting a child further lost is kind of a rule. Or refraining from doing a bad thing is easier to make a universal rule than encouraging actively doing something. I've probably not had enough tea to be perfectly coherent yet.